morning everybody. Hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. Hope you had a great weekend. It's Monday, May the 18th. News today, usual US cases, down slightly over the weekend. Florida cases unfortunately fluctuating over the weekend. Florida enters full phase 1 today, so I'll tell you what that means for us here in Florida. Disney Springs opens in 2 days time, so I've got a recap of what that means, what the operating protocols are, the news on their COVID-19 disclaimer following the disclaimer from Universal Studios, and what will happen if you don't want to wear a mask. Coco Key reopens today, so Coco Key is the first water park resort to reopen in Orlando. We'll be going, and I'll bring you news of that later. And finally, it looks like we're going to be up for our first named tropical storm later this week. Hurricane season isn't due to kick off until June the 1st, but here we are on May the 18th. There's going to be no news tomorrow as we're going to be in Coco Key, so the news will resume on Wednesday. We'll also be visiting Disney Springs on Wednesday morning, so I'll bring you the first review of Disney Springs reopening on Wednesday afternoon. There'll be more news on Thursday, and I'll then also release the Coco Key review video on Thursday. So that's the news headlines. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. You'll get this news at the moment 6 days a week. I'll be doing this until the parks are fully reopened, and I'll be bringing you different bits of news from Florida and Orlando through that time. Okay, let's go to the news. On Saturday, new daily cases in the US was 23,488. and yesterday was 19,891. In Florida on Saturday we had 673 new cases, and yesterday new cases were 777. Florida moves into full phase 1 today, which means that restaurants and stores can increase their capacity from 25% to 50% while still maintaining social distancing. Gyms and fitness centres, which were previously closed, can now also reopen at 50% capacity. Vacation rentals can now open for business again, but only after counties have sought approval to operate them from the DBPR. As I said on Saturday, this is likely to be Florida residents only at the beginning. Disney Springs reopens on Wednesday the 20th of May at 10:30. A number of stores and restaurants will be open on opening day. Walt Disney Company has produced a COVID-19 disclaimer for its guests, which is similar to that produced by Universal Orlando for its City Walk opening last Thursday. They are the multi-storey parking garages on the Disney Springs side of East Buena Vista Drive. All guests' temperatures will be checked with no-touch technology. This will be similar to that used by City Walk. Guests who have a temperature of 100.4 Fahrenheit and above will not be admitted. The total capacity of Disney Springs is not known, but each store and restaurant will be limited to 50% capacity, including 6 feet distancing between tables and aisles. All guests aged 3 and over are required to wear a face covering. Anyone who refuses to wear a face covering will not be admitted. We will be at Disney Springs for its reopening at 10:30 a.m. on May the 20th. We'll bring you video of that later the same day. Coco Key reopens tomorrow, and it will be the first water park resort to reopen in Orlando. Coco Key is located on I-Drive near the Rosen Inn International. We'll be there, and we're staying overnight to provide a review of the whole resort. That video will be published on Thursday the 19th of May. As a reminder that hurricane season is nearly with us, Tropical Depression 1 has formed off the Florida coast. This is expected to become Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm of the hurricane season, but it isn't expected to trouble Florida. As a reminder, hurricane season officially starts on June the 1st. So US daily cases looks like we are on a little bit of a downward trend right now. We've certainly fallen since May the 4th, which is great news. Florida, on the other hand, we don't seem to be having a great pattern at all. It's up and it's down. I guess that's due to the reopening in partial phase 1 a couple of weeks ago on May the 4th. I don't know whether it will be further affected by the full reopening of phase 1. Indeterminate right now, but I'll be following that as I usually do every day, and we'll be able to see what's happening, if there is any pattern emerging. Disney Springs obviously reopening in 2 days' time. Disclaimer, if you want to come, you come at your own risk basically. Same as Universal City Walk did last Thursday. No real issue there. Look, if you go, you know there's a potential for it. You just wear your mask and you stay away from people. Disney Springs is big enough to hopefully mean that there'll be enough room for people to mill around in without rubbing shoulders with each other. If you don't want to wear a mask, stay home, my friends. That's the message from Disney, and quite rightly, you're on private property. There's no civil liberties right or anything like that. You're on their property, you do as they say, or you leave. Coco Key reopens today. That's off I-Drive. You can actually see it off I-4. We thought we'd go down there seeing as it's the first water park to reopen, and we're going to bring you a review of that, a full hotel room review and water park review later in the week on Thursday, so watch out for that coming. And the tropical storm Arthur looks set to not come to Florida. Actually, it's going to stay off the coast and go up to the Carolinas, and it'll probably peter out before it gets there. But that's just a kind of reminder that we're almost in hurricane season now. We're almost 2 weeks away from it actually, so tropical storm's a little bit early, but yeah, we're getting there. So the rain's going to be coming every afternoon, all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully it won't be a big hurricane season this season with COVID-19 still with us. We don't need any more kind of problems here. But that's the news in full today. I'll see you on Wednesday morning. Until then, stay safe, stay well. Cheers for now. Bye bye.